Hi friends, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Lindsay and today I'm going to lead you through a quick stretch that you can do on an everyday basis. I'm going to try to do full body as much as possible, but as always, if you have any special requests, so any areas that you want to stretch out or strengthen more particularly, then just leave me a comment or let me know what you'd like to see next. You might just need a block or something that will act like a block, maybe a book, something sturdy to have at home in case you are feeling a little tight. And otherwise, just meet me in a comfortable cross-legged position. Let's take the hands just above the knees with the palms facing up to start. Maybe closing off the eyes. And if you're not comfortable doing that, I totally get it. It can be awkward even in your own home. So maybe just downcast the eyes. Let's take a few minutes here just to do a body scan. So scanning the body, taking notice of how you feel physically and of course emotionally, mentally. Sometimes those areas can be very linked. So for me, I'm constantly in a state of stress and anxiety, it seems these days. So I notice so much tension in my jaw, I clench my teeth, so much tension in my neck and my shoulders. So for you, maybe take notice if you feel it in those spaces, or if you're holding some residual or other kinds of tension elsewhere. And then maybe start to deepen the breaths, get out any wiggles, any kind of movement that you need to, maybe shake out the hands, wiggle the shoulders, anything you need to do in this moment. If the eyes were downcast or closed, start to open the gaze, open the eyes and lift the gaze. Let's take the right hand down beside the body, reach the left arm up, breathe in here, breath out, come into a side bend. Hold it here for a moment. Try to keep opening the chest towards the ceiling. One more breath in here. One more exhale. Breathe in, take it back up, this time left hand down. As you exhale, let's come over to that side. Try to plant the opposite sit bone down. So in this case, or in this side, it's the right sit bone plants. Let's breathe in to get a little longer. Exhale, maybe to deepen. Let's take this one breath per movement. Breathe in, come up. Breath out, coming into our side bend. Inhale to lift. Exhale to bend. One more each side. Breathing in. Breathing out, maybe the elbow comes down to touch. Breathing in. Breathing out, maybe get a little deeper. Inhale brings you back up. Take the hands down to the knees. Let's start to roll out the shoulders. Now let's switch the cross of the legs here just to even it out. Let's reverse those circles other way. Take notice. What feels better? Which direction? For me, going back feels better because of my poor posture of sitting all day. What does it feel like to you? Let's squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears. Breathe in. Breath out. Let it go, release. 3 more times like that. Breathe in, lift the shoulders. Breath out, lower. 2 more. And out. And last time, breathe in. And out. Nice. Let's just take the chin over to the right shoulder here. And then take the right ear to the right shoulder. Maybe use the help of the hand to guide that ear a little closer to the shoulder. Left hand can always come down to the ground. Whew. Coming back to center, second side. Just take a gaze over towards the left side, chin to the left shoulder. And then slightly tilt the head. Oh, this side's a lot tighter for me. I felt that immediately. So just gradually easing into this stretch. Left shoulder to left ear. Maybe the hand helps you out here. Hand comes over to the right ear. to guide that head down. One more breath cycle here. Inhale brings you back up, release. Finding our way into a tabletop position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's bump the hips over to the right side. Gaze goes to the right side with you. Maybe you can look back towards the back of the mat. Let's breathe in back to center. Take it to the second side. Hips come to the left, gaze to the back left corner of the mat. Taking this a little faster, just taking the hips side to side. Neutralizing the hips, neutralizing the shoulders. Let's start to drop the belly, lift the gaze, inhale to come into your cow pose. And as you exhale, round through the spine, drop the tailbone, contract the core, cat. Breathing in, lift the gaze, arch through the back. And exhale, just reversing that, rounding the spine, push the ground away. A few more like that on your own breath, your own speed. And feel free to add any movements that feel good. So maybe you kind of want to combine the movements we just did, add a little sway of the hips as you arch and round through the spine. And if it feels good, you can also try different placements of the hands. So maybe you want to point the fingers towards the knees so that the crease of the elbows faces the top of the mat to do your cat and cows. And if you are a little tight, maybe you just want to do one hand at a time like that. We'll do one more cat and cow wherever you are. Neutralize the hands back to center if they weren't already there. Let's start to tuck the toes, draw the tummy in. Maybe fix the pants if they're falling. Contracting the core, let's hover the knees off the mat. And lower. Let's breathe in to lift the knees. Exhale to lower. Two more like that. And on the next one, let's breathe in, hold the knees. Hold, hold, hold. Protract the shoulders, or otherwise that means just separate the shoulders away from each other. One more breath in here. Breath out sends you back, downward facing dog. Let's lift the right heel, bend through that knee. Maybe the left heel can come a little lower to the ground. Feel that in the hamstrings, especially the left side. Let's switch this out. Left heel lifts, left knee bends. Feel the intensity into the right hamstring. And then maybe we want to walk this out a little faster, pedaling out the feet. And again, maybe you want to sway almost the hips side to side, like what we were doing in our tabletop position. As always, find movement that feels good, or at least is tolerable for your body. You know, tune into what's calling you here. And if you're like, hey, I don't know what's calling me, I don't know what to do, I feel silly, that's cool too. You can just listen to my cues, try things out. Maybe they work for you and maybe they don't. Let's lift the right leg up. Keep the hips square, keep the leg straight to start. Breathe in here. Starting to open the hip, bend through the knee, draw the heel to the seat. So the right hip should be slightly higher than the left. Notice if the right shoulder is trying to open up with you. Don't let that happen. Let's take one more breath in here. As you exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest, step the foot through. Let's lower the back knee down, low lunge. Now you can always take the blocks to hands. Hands to blocks, maybe, it would be a better cue. And let's just keep those hips low, stack the right shoulder, not the right shoulder, the right knee over the right ankle. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together. Let's breathe in and reach the arms up. Nice. So notice right away, if you're just kind of dumping in the hips and hanging out, to get an active stretch for the hip flexors, let's back out of this for a second. Tuck the tailbone down and squeeze through the glutes. So right away, I feel this in my left hip flexors. As you do this with this kind of neutral tucked position, let's then start to lower the hips down and forward. One more breath in here. Exhale, take the hands back down to frame the front foot. Send the hips back. Hips stack over the back knee, in this case, the left knee. Flex those right toes up to the ceiling, maybe back towards your nose. You can stay up here, maybe again with hands on blocks, or you can tuck the back toes and bring the seat down towards that back heel. Ooh, so that's quite intense for the hamstrings. I'm feeling more intense than usual today. So just take notice of how you're feeling, find your edge, and always respect that. You know, the muscles have some flexibility, but some of us are very tight. So we don't want to overstretch or stretch too quickly. Inhale and exhale. Inhale takes you back forward. Now everyone, if you do have a block, you might want to take it to the left hand. Let's breathe in, reach the right arm up, and then reach that hand for the back of the mat. Start to bend onto the back knee. Maybe you can catch onto the foot here. Now, if you have the balance in that block, you can always take it up to its highest setting. And when you come up a little higher, you should be able to catch onto that foot or use a strap there. Keep drawing the right hip back into the hip socket and try to get that heel a little closer in towards the seat. So still a hip flexor stretch, but really, really into the quad as well. And if you can take the hand down, you're welcome to do so. Whew, very intense. Breathing through this. One more breath cycle here. And our next inhale, let's release. Take the hands to frame the front foot. Step that front foot back. High plank. Breathing in. Exhale sends you up and back, downward facing dog. Before we go to the second side, maybe just pedal out the feet. Breathing in, let's pass through our high plank and then start to drop the hips down for a modified upward facing dog. Keep reaching the tailbone back. Breathing in here. Exhale brings you back up. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in, pass through our plank, come down through our modified upward facing dog. Lift the kneecaps, lift the quads. Maybe rock here. I always find a little bit of movement. One more inhale. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Right away, let's breathe in. Lift the left leg skywards, lift it up. I don't know why when I say skywards, I feel kind of like a pirate, and I don't really think pirates say that, so I don't know where that comes from. I'm just a little weird, I guess. Start to open up the hip, bend the knee, draw the left heel towards the seat. Keep squeezing that seat. Notice any differences from one side to the other. Maybe that right heel can't get as low as the first side, so maybe that right hamstring's a little tighter. Inhale. Exhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest, step the foot through, taking the back knee down. Let's keep the hands to the ground to start. Again, hands can be in blocks. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together and drawing the left hip back this time. So front hip draws into the hip socket. Finding some balance, come up into the fingertips, breathe in, reach the arms up, biceps to ears. Now again, right away, I'm always just kind of down here and I'm not getting much of a stretch. So let's consciously, pardon me, come out of this, tuck the tailbone down, squeeze the seat. And once you have that tucked position, then lower the hips down. Notice the difference for the hip flexors on the right side. Use your breath to find integrity here. So maybe get longer through the arms as you breathe in, and as you exhale, maybe you can deepen this. Inhale here. Exhale, take the hands back down, frame the front foot, and then we send the hips back to stack over the right knee. Keep flexing the left toes towards the nose. And we can always hold it here with hands on blocks, or keep the back toes tucked and sink the seat back towards the heel. Notice the difference in this stretch for the hamstrings and for the calf. Ooh. As always, keep breathing. Breathing will help, even just to distract you slightly. For this next one, I recommend having your block handy since we're all pretty tight in our quads and our hip flexors. Inhale draws you forward one more time into your lunge. Take the block to the inside of the front leg. Right hand comes there. Breathe in. Let's reach the left arm up to the sky. Maybe the gaze comes there with you. Reaching that hand towards the back of the mat now. Start to bend through the right knee. Maybe catch onto that foot. So maybe you stay up a little higher, but maybe over time you can start to draw that heel in towards the seat and then lower the hips down. So you can be up on a higher setting, a lower setting, and eventually maybe get rid of that block. But honor where you are today. This is so intense. So it doesn't happen overnight, and it certainly doesn't happen over the course of a short yoga video. Let's take one more breath cycle here. Your inhale, release. Left hand, right hand frames the front foot, pick up the back knee, step back into your plank. Hold it here. Draw the tummy in, fix your pants, pick whatever clothing you need to. Inhale, exhale, keep breathing. Exhale sends you back up. Downward facing dog, pedal at the feet. Let's inhale, come through our plank, down through our modified upward facing dog. Keep reaching the tailbone back. Exhale lifts you up and back, downward facing dog. This time, let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in to come forward. Breath out takes you up and back. Keep contracting the core. Last time. Breathe in, come up and forward. Exhale, back and up. I kind of fly, but we're not coming all the way down like what we just did. Let's inhale, shift forward through your plank. Exhale, maybe onto the knees. To do this, come all the way down to the belly. Yoga push-up, elbows draw in. And let's come into a Sphinx pose. Hands spreading wide. Try to draw the elbows back towards the tailbone, towards the back of the mat. Keep reaching through the tailbone. Let's start to take the left hand towards the right corner of the mat. Let's open up the chest here. Start to tend into the right shoulder or into the right fingers to open the right shoulder. Pardon me. You can stay here, or you can start to reach that right hand back, maybe bend through the right knee, catch a hold of the foot, draw the heel to the seat. So nice opening from many parts of our body, into the shoulders, into the spine, and of course into the hip flexors and the quadricep. One more breath cycle here. And let's release second side. Bringing the right hand towards the left corner of the mat. Let's start to tent the left fingers, open up the chest towards the left side. If you want more, let's start to bend through the left knee. Maybe the left hand reaches back, catches onto the foot. Maybe onto the ankle, whatever you can reach today. Keep pushing the ground away with that bottom forearm and hand. And maybe you can take the gaze behind you towards that back foot. One more breath cycle. And let's release from there. Coming back into our baby cobra, let's do 3 of those. Hands beside the rib cage, pointing the toes back. Breathing in, let's lift through the chest, squeeze the seat. Exhale to lower. Breathe in to lift. Exhale takes you down. One more time like this. Exhale. Inhale, pressing up through tabletop position. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Let's reach the right leg towards the sky. Open the hip, bend the knee. Hold it here for a moment. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Step the foot through. Let's shorten the back stance. Let's take it about hip distance alignment. Back toes are at about a 45-degree angle. Let's breathe in. Come up halfway, bicep to ears. Let's keep drawing the right hip back. Feeling an engagement and a more dynamic stretch and strengthen into that front leg. Nice. Breathing in here. Breath out, let's fold over that front leg. Pyramid pose. Keep drawing that right hip back. Keep pressing the pinky edge of the left toe, left foot down. Now you can stay right here. Maybe you need the help of the block. You can take it to the inside of the front foot or to the outside. It might be a little bit more accessible on the inside. Take the left hand there. Take the right hand to the hip. Keeping the hips squared, let's start to open up. So the right shoulder stacks over the left. Maybe the gaze comes up. And then maybe you want to take that top arm towards the sky. Now it's really easy. I can even feel it that my hips are kind of shifting too far to the right. Try to draw them back. I'm going to come up even onto my fingertips here because my hyperextended joints are kind of pushing out and I'm resting too much on that bottom hand and arm. Revolve triangle, or sorry, revolve pyramid pose. Inhale. Exhale, takes you back, down, low lunge, step the feet back, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, pedal out the feet. One more side. Breathe in, lift the left leg high, bend the knee, open the hip. Let's hold it here for a few moments. Breath in, straighten the leg, square off the hip. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest, step the foot through. Right away, let's shorten that stance. Bring the back foot in a few inches. Let's breathe in, come up to about a halfway lift, reach the arms forward, bicep to ears. Press into the big toe mound of the front foot, draw the left hip back. So even though the front leg is kind of in the direction of straight, we don't want to lock out that knee joint. So take a little weight away from the heel of the left foot. One more breath in here. Can you get a little longer through the arms? Can you reach the tailbone back? As we exhale, let's fold and round the spine, just reaching for the shins, or shin, maybe the ankle. Keep drawing the left hip back to square them off, and as you do this, you should feel that hamstring and calf area light up. And when I say light up, I mean stretch. And of course, you can stay here. This is already really intense. If you use the block on the first side, let's use it again. So I'm taking the block from kind of the medium height. You can always come up a little higher, but be careful because it gets a little bit more unstable as you do this. Let's take the right hand to the block. Left hand comes to the hips. Keep drawing the left hip back as you open up from the belly button upwards. So hips stay square. Left shoulder stacks over the right. And again, I'm going to come up onto my fingertips just so I'm not collapsing in that bottom arm. Maybe the gaze comes up and maybe the left hand reaches towards the ceiling. Revolved pyramid pose. Breathe in, can you reach a little taller here? Breath out, can you twist a little deeper? Let's take one more breath cycle, finding your own expression, your deepest expression of this pose. And let's release this. Get rid of the block. This time, let's walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. Feet are parallel to the shoulder edges. Let's take a wide fold here. Maybe bending into one knee at a time, just pulsing, switching the weight back and forth. Then let's heel to the feet in, just a little bit wider than hips distance. Heels in, toes out. Start to bend the knees. Malasana or yogic squat here. Hands come to elbows, hands come to heart center, elbows come to knees. Keep squeezing the seat to activate and to open up into the hip flexors. Now we can always take a block behind us, maybe under this seat if this is too much. If our heels are lifted, maybe just roll up a towel or a blanket underneath the heels. Keep pressing the knees wide with the help of the glutes and with the elbows. Let's take one more breath in here. And one more breath out. Let's find our way to a seat now, whatever way you want to get there. Similar to our standing variation, let's open up the legs wide. Keep flexing the feet engaged through the quadriceps, so that's the top of the legs here, the thighs. Let's take the left hand down, breathe in, reach the right arm up. Exhale, let's come into that side bend one more time, similar to the beginning of class, but with the legs out and a straddle. Let's breathe in, breath out, start to lift up a little bit more, and then bend, fold over the left knee. Keep planting through the right sit bone. And start to walk the hands through center. Hold it here for just a moment, whatever this looks like for you. So maybe you're up a little bit higher on the hands or forearms. Breath in takes you all the way back up. Second side, right hand down in front. Breathe in, reach the left arm up. Exhale, come into your side bend. Either onto the forearm or stay up onto the hand, whatever works for you. Keep digging and planting through the left sit bone. Keep flexing through the feet and engaging through the legs. One more breath in here. As we start to exhale, let's lift up slightly before we take our forward fold over the front knee. Nice. Keep breathing, we're almost there. Let's breathe in, come back through center. Maybe we can get a little deeper this time to keep planting through the sit bones. Start to walk the hands back in. Bring the feet together, the knees apart. Now you can always really draw the heels close in towards the pelvis or open up into a wider diamond. This is our Baddha Konasana, our butterfly pose. This is where we'll finish today. So just let the knees fall where they may. You might want to be sitting up on a cushion or a block if you feel really tight. You're welcome to come down into our more traditional Shavasana, our final corpse resting pose, just to take in the benefits of this practice. Or you're welcome to finish off here, maybe closing the eyes. I've already done so. Or downcasting them if that feels more comfortable. Taking this time to remind yourself why you came into this practice. Maybe noticing any tightness that remains. Maybe there's a slight difference from now compared to the beginning of our class. So just take notice. Again, no judgment. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Let me know what else you'd like to see. And of course, just enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.